Hey guys, welcome back to Biking Roots. Welcome back to Texas and to Houston. Yes, it is raining because it's Houston and it's always raining in Houston. No, not really, but yeah, we get lots of rain here, which is great because it makes the forest green, the grass green, and it creates a ton of bugs that we have to deal with. If you're new to the channel, which most of you probably are, we're a small bike shop that I started last year, and our goal is to get more kids and families on bikes. If you want to see more content similar to this, check out our channel, check out our other videos, subscribe to our channel if you want to get more updates on what we're up to as we grow our bike shop and the different adventures we take and different bikes and products that we take a look at. If you follow us on Instagram, you may have seen that the day before Thanksgiving, our 9-year-old son, Garrett, he dislocated his elbow, not biking, but on the monkey bars at the neighborhood park. Yeah, and he has not been cleared to ride a bike until like a week or two ago, 2 weeks. So we're stoked because we haven't been able to ride really as a family because he's been out of commission. And so now we are back to riding. So we're stoked to have him back riding again. For Christmas, he got a new bike that he couldn't really ride, which stinks. And so now he's able to finally ride his new bike, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. And it brings us to the topic of today's video. All right, we're here in the kid room. Today, we're talking about kid bikes. So we're gonna go through some of these guys and find out which bikes your little one should be riding on. If you have kids and they're on mountain bikes or you're not sure if you can put them on mountain bikes or which ones, then this video is for you. The first group we're gonna talk about is, we'll say, the 2 to 5-year-old age group. I will say, for all of these bikes, here at Biking Roots, we do not like training wheels. We think that balancing is the hardest thing to learn, and that pedaling should then come second. And I'll explain why in a little bit, but yeah, so no training wheels. What we recommend is getting your guy a cool balance bike. These are little, they have 12-inch little tires. There's lots of different manufacturers that make these. But one thing that we like to do with ours is we put some nice knobby rubbery tires on them instead of some plastic ones you'll find on some of the cheaper ones. And also these are aluminum, so they're very, very light. Which is nice. They're like 6 or 7 pounds, so your kid can pick it up easily and maneuver around. Yeah, our kids have all started out on balance bikes actually, and yeah, they've loved these things. We've taken them on lots of different adventures, and they have grown into them. We had one of them for like 3 different kids until it finally broke. But first, get them on a balance bike. They're gonna love it. They can practice around the house, and you can take them out on the road and then onto the trails. All right, so you're out on the trail and you're having a good time. They're riding along on their balance bike, but then what happens? They start to get tired. And so you may have planned on going for a couple miles and your kid's done after like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Hey, I'm tired. They're moving along, they're scooting along on their own, and so they don't have pedals or gears. So the dilemma being, okay, so now what do? You have your balance bike, you want to keep riding with them. For the longest time, your option was to use a bike trailer. We did bike trailers for a number of years, which they work pretty well. The problem though is through axles is a problem, so not all of the newest bikes you can't. There's some adapters out there. In addition, if your trails are narrow like a lot of ours, even the one-person bike trailers, they're going to start hitting things. You're carrying this weight around, and it's not ideal for biking. The solution that we did not come up with, but we fully endorse, and we really love these things. It's actually changed our rides tremendously. The first one here, this is it's called the Mac Ride. This is the first one that we use. You have to have a 10 millimeters of space underneath your headset here in order to attach the adapter. And then it can mount to your dropper, so you also have to have enough space over here where you can attach it to your dropper. But these things are sweet. They're easy to come off. You just unloosen this, and then there's a bolt over here, and it comes right off. These are about $230. And what's awesome is you put your kid on here. You can see some of the videos. Our kid has really loved it because when he's tired on the balance bike, for a while, we hooked his balance bike onto the back of my backpack, and we stuck him on here so he could ride, get on here. He could, when he's tired, you put him on here. If he wants to ride for a little bit, you let him ride. Because of that, you can go on longer journeys, and it's actually a lot of fun. I've taken him to Spider Mountain, which is our bike park in north of Austin. We've taken him on a few different adventures. If you're in Houston, we have them in stock. Come buy them from us. If you aren't and your bike shop doesn't have them, some links in the description below. The other option is this is called the Kids Ride Shotgun. A similar idea to the Mac Ride. Difference being is this can go on any type of bike because it mounts to the frame. The Mac Ride also goes on most bikes, but it can only do 1 1/8. If you have like a lefty, I know from personal experience it will not work on like a lefty that has a thicker head tube. My son has been on this one time, and just to test it out, he had a great time on it. These are less expensive. These are $150. You can also get some handlebar things if you want him to have grips. Those are like $30. But Kids Ride Shotgun. So you could combine this with the balance bike and you could have a great time out on the trails. Okay, continuing on with the kid bikes range from ages 2 to 5. Where do the kids go once they're too big for the balance bike, or they're just boring for them because they're bigger and they're slow? How are they going to learn how to ride a bike, and what bike are they going to learn on? Many parents will go to your big box stores and they're going to get the cheapest kid bikes, which usually are BMX bikes, which are heavy. The geometry it's for bigger kids, and if you don't have a lot of money, this may be all you can do, and that's fine. It's better than nothing. I think a lot of times your kids start to lose some interest in bikes because they can't get on them. So it's hard for them to learn how to pedal, and they're heavier. So I feel like this is a critical time where kids will start to lose interest in biking unless you get them on the right bike. What we did, so my son started out on the balance bike, and then Cleary came along. Cleary is a company out of California. They make really cool kid bikes. All they do is kid bikes. So this is the Cleary Gecko. It's a 12-inch bike. It has a threadless headset and steer tube, so this thing isn't going to wiggle loose like some of the cheaper bikes that have what's called a quill stem. This is a threadless stem, which these get a lot tighter. It has front and rear brakes. Mason, our youngest, he learned pretty quickly how to do the brakes on the Gecko. So we went from balance bike to Gecko, and I'll show you a video, but he learned how to ride outside of our shop in about 10 minutes of practicing. Yeah, super speed.
Oh, he braked.
Good brake.
Good brake.
One of the cool things about the Clearys is they have this freewheel. So no coaster brake. Whenever they're learning how to ride, I feel like this freewheel has helped a ton because they can correct, they can go backwards, they can adjust when they're learning how to push. These run for $310 if you want to purchase. We also have a lease program where if your kid just needs it to learn how to ride and then you want to get a bigger bike, then we also have programs for that as well. So yeah, so our youngest was on this for only a few months. So he was 3 years old when he learned how to ride on the 12-inch Cleary Gecko. Then we moved to this bike, which is the Cleary Hedgehog. This is a 16-inch tire. And so from 12-inch to 16-inch, the good thing about the Hedgehog though is it's a little bit bigger, but you have to cut this down a little bit if you need it lower, which is what we did. Height-wise, he was almost the same seat height. So whenever he transitioned, it was a little bit bigger for him, but with the bigger tires, he's able to go a lot faster and he has a lot better time out on the trails. So right now my son's on one of these orange. We changed it to some knobby tires, but yeah, these are cool. These run $375, and your kid can ride this from depending on how tall he is, from 3 years old to 5 years old. The second group of kiddo bikes is the 5 to about 8 years old group. And this group is fun because we like to introduce gears into these bikes. Gears put, at least with our son, it helped him out a lot. Actually, our now 6-year-old, when he was 5 last year, this is before we opened our shop, we had been riding out on the trails, going out with Garrett, our oldest. We had just given him a new bike. Mason was on his new balance bike. And then Tanner was on a hand-me-down Mongoose Walmart bike. And he was just struggling. He was really good on the little bikes, but then when he went to the Mongoose, he was just struggling out on the trails. And one day he came to me, he was just discouraged because he saw everyone going. He's like, Dad, why am I not good at biking? And so that hurt because it was, yeah, he wasn't having a good time on the trails because the bike was so heavy. And I think it weighed, I forget how many pounds. I'll put a link how much his original bike weighed and then how much we saved. We found a good deal on this Saracen Mantra. This was his first real mountain bike. This was a 20-inch, so he had 8 speeds, single, so 1x drivetrain. This did have rim brakes that helped keep some of the weight down, but this bike was sweet. It was long, had a low standover height, so he could get on it. He loved having his 8 speeds, learning how to shift. He's still working on it now, a year later. It's been neat to take him to different places. He's had a great time, and he's really improved his riding and his handling a lot. Cleary also makes a couple 20-inch models. This is the Owl. I love this green. This one has rim brakes. This particular one is a single speed. They also make it with a 3-speed internal hub, so you could have 3 speeds. So that's Cleary's offering. Pretty sweet bike. These run $425 to $475 depending on if you want internal gear or not. This is Tanner's bike that he's riding now. We wanted to put him on a Marin because we sell them, and he thought it was pretty cool color. So anyway, we are selling his old bike, and now he's riding this one. I love this blue. These have front and rear disc brakes, mechanical disc brakes. This has a 7-speed. It does have a cassette, which is neat because on some of the inexpensive kid bikes, you're going to have a heavier freewheel. Yeah, I just hate dealing with freewheels. These are cassettes, so they can easily removed if you need to. Also 1x. These are $389, and these are really sweet bikes. Those are some 20-inch options for your kid ages 5 to about 8 years old. All right, moving along in the ages for kid bikes. This next group is the 8 to probably 10 to 12, depending on how quickly your kid starts to shoot up in height. Our kids are on the short side, so I don't predict this happening, although, no, they're probably not. They're going to be short. This is Garrett's old bike. This is what really kind of got us started. This is an older Cannondale Street that I then converted. I turned it into a 1x, changed the rear freewheel. He loves Minecraft, so we did this like creeper thing with our custom vinyl here in the shop. So anyway, he loved this bike for a long time until we opened the shop, and then we got some new bikes from different manufacturers. This is the first one. This is the Cleary Meerkat. This is their 24-inch. This one has hydraulic disc brakes, 1x as well. This one, they use actually an internal geared hub. So it has 5 different speeds, but you don't have to worry about adjusting derailleur. With some parents, that if your kid's really hard on bikes and you don't want to deal with that, that could be an option for you. These are just under $600. Marin has some sweet ones as well with their Bayview Trail models. They come in blue and kind of that yellowish color or gray. And so both sweet looking colors. This is what our oldest is on now. He was wooed over by the suspension fork. So we're going to talk about this later. We have some plans on suspension fork and some upgrades that we're going to do to make it pretty fun. These have a 7-speed cassette, so you could replace it. We're going to have another video later on that to see if we can get a little bit of a taller cassette back there, even on a 7-speed hub. This has grip shift, which I personally like trigger shift better. But when I was asking the boy, he was like, oh yeah, these are cool. I love it. So I don't know. He likes the grip shift. I personally like Trigger, but so these Marin Bayview Trail 24s, these are $439. Marin did a good job with these Bayview Trails, and we have a few of them still in stock here at our store. If not, go check out your local Marin dealer. All right, so that was an overview of the different bike options that you have from 2 to 12, basically, and what we've done as a family to get our kids out on bikes. And I know it can be a lot of money, especially if you have a bunch of kids, to get them on the right bike. So I know it's not for everybody, and a kid can have fun on any bike, but I will stress that on the right bike, I really think that they can have a lot more fun, and they can catch the bug and the desire to go biking more if they're on something that fits them, and they're going to have a lot more fun out on the trail, and they're going to be more inclined to turn off Minecraft, to turn off the TV, and get out on the bike if it's something that they enjoy doing. Look at your finances, see if you can do it, and I think it's an investment that I'm glad that we took in order to get our kids on the right bike and get them out on the trail with us. We've had such good experiences going to different places. Oftentimes we'll pack a lunch, we'll go look at bugs, we'll go look at animals out on the trail, and the kids love to explore, be out in nature, get away from the screens. It's been something that has really helped our family, and I want to help others. So if you're in Houston, come check us out. We will help you get started. So here at Biking Roots, we want to help you guys experience what we have. So come and see us if you're local. If not, check us out on our site, check us out on Instagram, subscribe to our channel for more content and more reviews, different trails that we're going to go on, different products. Thanks for watching. Have fun out on the trails, and we will see you on the next video. Bye.